Hello, Psycho Life peeps. Hello, hello. Happy Sunday, Yoga Wagon peeps. Happy Mother's Day. Anyone hopping on my yoga wagon tonight for some Sunday slow down? Give me a thumbs up. Anyone out there watching? Maybe you guys are maybe slightly over celebrated for Mother's Day. Hey Maria. Hi Kate. Hello Elise. Woo-woo. Hey Greg. I think most of you saw my got my post hint for a crowd favorite tonight. We're going to be doing some legs up the wall stuff. So hopefully y'all, or you can even do it with your headboard on your bed, like laying on your bed and then putting your legs up the headboard, or any door that you have could work. So hopefully you got my notification before you got to your mat, because that's what we're doing tonight. Yeah, we'll do a little bit of some stuff before we roll into that, but hopefully everyone has a wall that they can use. Hey Gina, happy Mother's Day. Lori, you in your pajamas? Because right after this, you're gonna want to go right to bed. Yeah, so we'll get started in a seated position first, and let me just check with my Psycho Life peeps up here. I'm recording, it's good. Yeah. So bring a blanket to your mat as well. So if you need to, you might, just depending upon where you're at in your home, if you get cold, you can use a blanket either over the top of you or use the blanket underneath your back when we're in our legs up the wall position. Okay, so I'll give you just a moment to go and get that. And hey Betsy, and we'll see how it goes. Oh good, Lori. Yes, perfect. In your PJs. Okay, so yeah, so get them. If you didn't already grab a blanket, and we'll get started. So it started first seated, finding an easy seat. All right. Happy Mother's Day to all my mothers out there, all the mamas. Hope you guys were able to enjoy this time with your quarantining families, and hope you're able to get some time to just enjoy the day for you. So hopefully this yoga includes part of that. All right, finding an easy seat. Yeah, just allowing yourself just to begin to drop in. Yeah. Finding a seat that really feels perfect to you, where you're able to lengthen your spine, soften your shoulders. As you begin to drop in, as you begin to slow your minds, soften your jaw, release your jaw, soften. your eyebrows. Maybe just take a few moments here to really allow yourself to really take in your breath as you inhale and create some space. And then as you exhale, maybe breathe it out. Just release all the air from your lungs as you draw your belly button in towards your spine. Soften through your shoulders. A few more times, inhaling. Fill your belly, fill your chest, expand your heart space. And your exhale, think soften and release your shoulders as if they're melting away from your earlobes. Your palms just release, unclench your hands. Just take really just a few more moments here. Think about that phrase, settling in. Settling in and slowing your minds. As you settle in and slow your minds, allow these moments here to draw to your minds just a word, one word that allows you to bring maybe a little bit a sense of focus, a sense of calm. Whatever that word is for you today, for tonight. Should your mind ever start to kind of lose focus and run off to maybe some other thoughts or ideas or back to list making, draw your mind back to that word. That word that brings you back to settling in and that sense of calm and release at your mat. And then come back to your breath. As you inhale, fill your belly, fill your chest, heart space expands. And as you exhale, your belly button draws in towards your spine. Soften and release. A few more times just like that, breathing in, creating space. And as you exhale, shoulder blades release, root down through your sits bones, your knees relax. All right, one more time. Inhale, fill your belly, fill your chest, lengthen through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, soften and release. All right, very little movement throughout our practice today. So we'll start off with your arms lifting up, reaching up, lengthening. And then as you exhale, take that energy right to your heart center. 2 more times just like that. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Maybe look up, reach up if that feels okay to your neck. And exhale, palms together, energy draws right to your heart center. And last time here, inhale, arms sweep up. And exhale, palms together. Take the energy right to your heart center. Yeah, so we're going to be really working through some yin postures, which are going to require some stillness and allowing you to gain a little bit of depth in throughout these postures and finding that edge. And then coming back to your breath and resolving to find stillness in those spaces. We're releasing through the fascia tissue rather than holding on to any kind of muscles, clenching, or trying to really let the fascia tissue do what it needs to do there as you release and not hold on to your muscles. All right, so I'll talk you through it as we work, but let's do a couple seated side bends here. Inhale, arms sweep up. And then as you exhale, left hand will draw down, right hand up and over. Just stretching through your side space. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, right hand down, left hand up and over. Keep rooting down through your sits bones. Try not to lift from one side to the other. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale. Maybe take your gaze up towards the ceiling this time. Chin away from your chest, heart space opens. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, right hand down, left hand up and over. Again, rooting down through both systems. Try not to lift up on one side. Inhale, back to center. Let's do a twist. Inhale, here at the center, lengthen through the crown of your head, and exhale. Twist, right hand forward, left hand back. Inhale, center space. Exhale, twist, opposite side. Breath moves you here. So inhale, lengthen to the center. As you exhale, twist. You don't necessarily have to wait for my cue and hold your breath, right? It's more about working with your own breath. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist. Maybe taking your neck into the movement a little bit more. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist. Maybe your gaze goes back towards your shoulder. Inhale, back to center. One more time. Exhale, twist. Perfect. Inhale, back to center. And exhale, twist. Take that energy right to your heart center. All right. Let's take your feet forward here. Do a few seated cat and cows. So seated cat and cows, you're using the pressure of your hands against your shins, or maybe even behind your thighs. Okay, inhale, heart space leads. Roll your shoulders down and back, chin away from your chest. And as you exhale, chin will draw in, belly button draws in towards your spine. Really lengthen your arms out as far as they'll reach with your hands hanging onto your shins. Inhale, draws you forward, heart space leads. It's as if you're drawing your knees almost in towards your chest. And exhale, chin draws in, belly button draws in towards your spine. Another time, one more round. Inhale, heart space leads, shoulder blades down and back, chin away from your chest, and exhale, chin draws in, draw your belly button in towards your spine, hanging onto your shins, reaching back. Nice work. Inhale, come back to center. All right, now with your exhale, let's take the soles of your feet together, and your knees will draw out towards the side. Your heels draw out a little bit more of a diamond shape, so your heels aren't drawing in close to your pelvis. You want there to be a little bit more space. Okay, from here, we're going to do a pretty deep forward fold. All right, but I want to give you a couple of options. All right, so inhale, arms sweep up. Lengthen, soften through your shoulders as you exhale. Fold forward, hinge over your thigh bones. Neck, head, and shoulders release. So from here, your palms can just face up, laying on the mat. Maybe have your hands laying on your feet. So this is option one. Option two, can take your hands underneath your shins, underneath your calves, and have a little bit of a bind here. Your hands can still face up, your palms can still face up, or you can wrap your hands around your ankles. Now, whichever posture you choose, when you find the appropriate depth, let your neck and head release. Here's where if you happen to have blocks at home, you can always take a block to your head just to give yourself a little bit more support. But otherwise, really allow yourself here to let your neck and head release. With each inhale, you're filling your belly, filling your chest. Expand your heart space, creating space with your breath. And as you exhale, Draw your belly button in towards your spine. Use the space you create on your exhale to draw in ever so slightly more. Release through your hips. Unclench your jaw. And breathe. Just take one more full inhale. And then with this exhale, slowly drawing yourself back. Drawing your heart space up. Let your neck and head last thing to draw up. Roll your shoulders down and back. Ha. All right, so this practice is probably a little bit of an extension of our practice on Friday, where we worked more on hips and did some Malasana squats. But this is going to really help. The postures are going to really help through your hips, but differently in that you're always going to be supported either by the wall or by the floor beneath you. So it's really gives some good options, especially if you need a little bit more help through your hip area, through your hips. Okay, so take your hands just behind your lower back and feet out nice and wide towards the width of your mat. And let's do a few windshield washers here back and forth. So lean back onto your hands and do a few windshield washers back and forth. Yeah. Inhale to center and exhale. Knees draw over to the right and to the left. Breathing here. Inhale back to center. Exhale. Yeah. All right. Take one more full inhale. And then with this exhale, come back to center. Walk your legs back. Come into a tabletop position. All right. From here, walk your hands slightly forward and then tuck your toes. Knees come up and away from your mat. Let's come into a down dog. So allowing yourself here a little bit of a nice lengthening through the backs of your legs, okay? So your right heel, let's start with your right heel drawing down. Bend through your left knee. And as you inhale, draw your right heel all the way up. As you exhale, heel draws down. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, heel draws down. One more time. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, heel draws down. Okay, switching it up. Left foot draws down, right knee bends. Inhale, draw all the way up onto your left tippy toes. Exhale, heel draws down. Palms all the while push down and away. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, heel draws down. Last time, inhale all the way up. And exhale, heels draw down. All right. Both feet meet the mat. Knees draw down. Hips release back. Come into your child's pose. Knees as wide as you need them to be. Big toes to touch. Heart space draws down. As you draw your heart space down, remember the rule. If your elbows or if your shoulders are super tight, take your elbows out a little bit wider towards the width of your mat. Right? You can always stack your hands underneath your head to help give you some comfort there. Find what works for you. I'm just sitting up so you guys can hear me talk. So take about 3 more rounds of breath here in your child's pose. Pause, soften, and breathe. All right, let's work through side space once again. Walk your hands in your child's pose position, keeping your hips down and back. Walk your hands over towards the left side of your mat. So your hips stay down and back, toes, big toes to touch in the back. And as your hands walk over towards the left side of your mat, try to keep your head released to the mat if you can. If not, you can bend your elbows and take your hands underneath your head. But still maybe lengthening through your elbow if you can't let your head totally release. So give yourself a little bit of comfort there. Take your forearm underneath and reach through with your elbow. Hips releasing down and back. Lengthening through your right side for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale draws you back to center. Yeah, no rush. On your next inhale, let's walk over towards the right side of your mat, lengthening then through the left side of your body. Same applies if you need. If your forehead doesn't rest comfortably, take your forearm underneath your forehead and then reach through with your left elbow, lengthening through your side space. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Inhale. Slowly come back to center. And then as you exhale, let's walk it back up. All right. So coming into our first legs up the wall position. Okay. So getting into your legs up the wall position. I tend to like a blanket underneath me just because I'm on a wood floor and my floor can be a little bit cold. So I always like a blanket underneath me. But it's not necessary if you don't need it. If you're on carpet, then no big deal. Or if you're on your bed, even better. Okay. So come to either side of your mat, whatever side your mat is on. You're gonna roll. Okay. So watch this, and I'll do it twice from both sides. So whatever side your mat is on, inhale that side. Your arm will lift up, and then as you exhale, bend your knees, thread through, and roll, 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 roll. Your legs end up the wall. Okay? So if you got it, stay right here. You want to try to get your bum as close to the wall as you can, right? You want your lower back completely released to the floor, so you don't want to be like lifting up this way. You want to try to release down. As you come into this position, and if your hamstrings are screaming at you right now, if they're like, oh, like, holy cow, how is she doing this? Then all you need to do is lift your hips up a little bit and then grab a pillow and put a pillow underneath your lower back. And that'll help release the tension in your hamstrings. Okay? So stay here if you're there. If you're still trying to figure out how I did the roll part, I'm going to do it again for you, okay? Again, whatever side your mat is on, you're going to sit to the side of your mat because you want to end up here, okay? Inhale. Your whatever arm that's closest to your mat, that's the arm that's going to lift up, bend through your knees, and as you exhale, roll, 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 roll. Okay? So here we are, legs up the wall. Slightly tuck your chin. Release my ponytail. Slightly tuck your chin, lengthen through the crown of your head. Allow yourself here to be released and comfortable. You don't want to feel any sort of pain in this posture. So again, if you're feeling any pain and tightness through your hamstrings, allow yourself to lift your hips up and then grab a pillow and put a pillow or another blanket just to give yourself a little bit more height. This is legs up the wall. Arms can draw towards the sides, palms face up. As you come into this posture, you're fully supported here. There's no need to hold on to anything at all. Legs are supported by the wall. Heels just relaxed against the wall. Soften through your glutes. And allow gravity, the floor beneath you, and the wall to completely take over. It's a great posture to help with anyone who has that, any kind of restless leg syndrome. This really helps calm that syndrome down and actually really nice right before bed. So many different benefits to this posture. You're actively rejuvenating the bloodstream throughout your endocrine systems and giving your hearts a break. After running or hiking or heavy activity on your legs is such a great thing to do at any time of the day. Take a few more rounds of breath here. All right, legs up the wall, standard posture. So now I'm going to share with you a few more different postures that you can do at the wall that can really help you in your other postures, as if you were, you'll see as we go through. Okay, so from here, we'll come into Baddha Konasana. Soles of your feet will come together. Your knees draw down towards the sides. Okay, so recognizing if you were in this posture, maybe your heels wouldn't necessarily draw as close to your pelvis as they are now, and your back is fully supported. If you're finding that your feet don't stay together, that's okay. No big deal, okay? Don't have to struggle to keep your feet together. Allowing yourself here to let your heels actually draw in as close to your pelvis as you can, and finding the appropriate edge for you. Resolve to find stillness there and come back to your breath. Softening through your shoulders and feel the support through your upper back, your middle back, and your lower back. Again, try not to hold on to anything, so release your glutes. Release your glutes, soften through your thighs, and breathe. Each posture that we do here up against the wall, you can come back to at any time throughout this practice. So I may not hold it as long as you want to hold it. I may go into one that isn't as comfortable, maybe go back to another one that you liked better. So I'm just going to give you some examples of what you can do here at the wall, okay? So this is Baddha Konasana. Take a few more rounds of breath here. Again, really soften through your lower back. Allow your mat to meet you here. Release through your shoulders. Now with your inhale, slowly draw your feet back up the wall once again. Heels connect. Point and flex your toes. All right. Legs up the wall. Take one more full inhale. All right, now with your exhale, coming into, so that was Baddha Konasana. The next one is Malasana Squat, okay? So with Malasana Squat, your feet come to the wall, your knees draw out towards the sides, maybe even wider than your ribs if that feels okay. So recognize as if the wall was the floor, you'd be in Malasana Squat, Yogi Squat, which now your back is fully supported and you can maybe find a little bit more depth in your Malasana Squat as you're able to use the wall to help give you that support and the ground beneath you to help support your back. So again, your knees stay in line with your ankles, right? If you want, you can even take your elbows to the insides of your knees, allowing yourself maybe a little bit more of a greater sensation there if you like. Slightly tuck your chin, lengthening through the crown of your head. Allow yourself again to find the appropriate depth that works for you. Maybe you find your heels can draw in a little bit closer towards your glutes, but make sure to keep your ankles over your knees. Yeah. As you find the appropriate depth, allow yourself. Resolve to find stillness here. Trust in the process. Allow your exhale to offer you a sense of ease. Ease through any area of tension. Right here, right now, the only place you have to be. Should your mind start to wander, bring back your focus word if that helps. Allow yourself to find a sense of ease with each exhale. And draw to mind the word that brings you back to settling in and slowing your minds. Here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, with your exhale, slowly, if your elbows are on the insides of you, slowly release. Heel toe your feet back to center, and then exhale, legs up the wall once again. Take a moment here, allow the energy to redistribute, point and flex your toes, and roll your ankles. All right. A few more postures to show you here. So we've got legs up the wall, we've got Baddha Konasana, we've got Malasana Squat, and now I'm going to show you figure 4 at the wall. So threading the needle at the wall, okay? So this is that reclined pigeon pose where your back is supported, but now we're at the wall. So this will be interesting to see what you guys think of this one. This is actually one of my favorites for my hips. Right ankle will draw over, well, basically to you, it's below your left knee, okay? Keeping your right foot flexed, both feet are flexed, and allow yourself to keep that figure 4 connection here. Your right knee continues to draw away from you. Now right here, this could be perfectly fine, and you could already be feeling a great sense of release through your hips, okay? Now, here's where it gets a little bit more interesting. Bend through your left knee and let your left foot draw to the wall. So now your hips might slightly lift up off the blanket or your mat, and that's perfectly fine as long as it feels okay to you, okay? So instead of now having to kind of grab your hands and clasp your hands behind your left thigh, now you have the wall to help give you that same effect, but now your back is fully supported at the same time, and you're not having to like reach with your hands, okay? So it's another option for you if that's a posture that doesn't always feel the greatest, which for me, sometimes it doesn't, just depending upon how tight my hips are. But throughout this time, keep your right foot nice and flexed. And as you come into this, maybe you find you can draw your left heel down a little bit lower, right? Just depends upon what feels good to your body. So find that appropriate depth, right? Find what works for you. Take a full exhale. Resolve to find stillness here in this space. And come back to your breath. In yin postures, your breath is the key to allowing the posture to get you into your bodies. Allow the posture to get into your bodies. Allow your exhale to be that wave of release. Softening through your glutes, release your thighs. I'll say it again, soften through your glutes and release your thighs. And yes, by now you may have noticed we're holding these postures a little bit longer. Yin postures are about releasing the fascia tissue, so you have to settle into the space and allow the posture to do its magic on your fascia tissue as you breathe into the space. Again, no need to hold on to anything at all. Let the floor beneath you, the wall support you. Gravity takes over. All right, here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. As you exhale, slowly draw your left heel up the wall, releasing your figure 4. Again, allowing the energy to redistribute here. Point and flex your toes. And again, if any posture is too much, then just release it and go back to one from previous. I'll review again, just because everyone always ends up really liking these legs up the wall poses, but then sometimes can't remember all of them. So I'll repeat them as we go through, okay? So we started with Baddha Konasana. Then we went to Malasana Squat. Then we went to figure 4 on one side, okay? Now, from here, we're going to actually do straddle in between the sides, just because I kind of like the way that feels in between each side, because that figure 4 hip one, as much as I love it, it can sometimes be a lot. And I like this one because it helps really release through my lower back as well. So simply draw your feet out towards the side. So you're going to straddle. Now, here's the thing. Your legs actually might start to shake just because they're not used to being in this position. But I really want you to think about letting the wall support you. So try not to hold your legs up to a point where you think they're going to go. If they're shaking, just see if you can release your thighs and allow the wall to support you. Let your heels release into the wall, right? Soften through your thighs, release your calves, soften through your glutes. Another trick for this one that I also really like is if say you don't have a wall and you don't have a wall wide enough, or you're not in a space where it's wide enough, you can always take a strap or whatever you have at home as your makeshift strap. You can use a belt of some sort, but you can take your feet to the bottom, or the strap to the bottom of your feet, and hold your feet up this way too. Hold your legs up this way as you use the pressure of the strap against the bottom of your feet. So same idea here. Again, this is another one of my favorites. So repeating a little bit, if you have a chance, go back to the class that I taught on Friday. And we did a lot of forward straddle fold to help release through your hips in a forward fold. And this is, again, another way to release through your hips. But now your back is fully supported. And so that's just gives you just another idea here if you have issues with your lower back. Yeah, yoga's fun. Yoga's fun. Yoga's so great. So straddle here. Straddle. Again, release your thighs. Soften through your calves. Let your heels just release into the wall. Let's go for 10 more rounds of breath, okay? Think about as you breathe here to help kind of get you through some of the postures and help you with your breathing as well. As you inhale, inhale for that same amount as you exhale. So whether it's a count of 7 or 8 or 9, hold at the top, and then as you exhale, breathe out that same count of 7, 8, or 9. Whatever works with your own breath. All right, come back to the count. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold at the top. And exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just like that. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold at the top. And release. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continuing that way for about 3 more rounds. Unclench your jaw, soften through your shoulders, release your glutes. Let the wall completely support you here. Your inhale is creating space, lengthening through the crown of your head. Your exhale, ease over your effort. Nice work, you guys. Take one more full inhale. And then with your exhale, all right, from here, gently bend your knees. Let the soles of your feet slowly begin to walk in. And then draw your feet up against the wall once again. Your legs up the wall once again. Let the energy redistribute. Point and flex your toes and roll your ankles. All right, let's come into the figure 4 on the opposite side now. So now your left ankle will drop over your right knee. Left foot stays nice and flexed. Here, maybe your knee draws away from you, and this offers you enough for tonight. So stay right here. If you want that thread the needle sensation, and draw your right heel in a little bit closer towards your glutes, and then you might find that your hips slightly lift up and away from the floor and the wall, and that's perfectly fine, right? It just has to be okay with you, and know that from side to side it can be completely different, and your left foot always stays nice and flexed to help protect your joints. Breathing here. Slightly tuck your chin. Think about swallowing maybe here just to release any tension in your face and in your throat. Breathing through your hips. Release through your shoulders. finding a sense of ease over your effort as you allow the posture to get you into your bodies. Trust in the process. And draw to mind your intention, your word of the day, the word for your practice that brings you back to stillness, brings you back to settling in, brings you back to slowing your minds. Here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. With your exhale, slowly draw your right foot up the wall once again, and then release your figure 4. Full inhale here. As you exhale, allow the energy to redistribute. Roll through your ankles. All right, so again, let's review. Just because I know you guys are going to want to do this again and again. Legs up the wall, traditional. Baddha Konasana. Malasana Squat. From Malasana Squat, we went to figure 4 on the right side. Figure 4 on the right side, yeah. And then straddle. And then back to center, and then do your figure 4 on the opposite side. Okay. From here, I'm going to come into a twist on each side. Okay. So this one we don't stay in as long. It's just kind of nice to feel how a twist can feel supported. So your knees draw down, your knees bend, and your heels draw down closer to your glutes, okay? And then from here, you're simply going to draw your knees and your feet over towards the left, keeping the support of the baseboard or the wall. So if it's not in your practice to take your feet all the way down to the baseboard, maybe you're here, that's perfectly fine, right? Find the depth of the twist that works for you. But the key is, I want you to make sure that your shoulder is released. So your right shoulder stays released to the mat. So if you find yourself lifting this way, then come back. Okay, just means maybe a little bit too far for today. Okay, and you stay right here. All right, so breathing into the twist, finding your appropriate depth, allowing the wall here to be your guide and giving you that support. And just notice how your twist feels a little bit different when you have the wall to support you. And then to finish off your twist, maybe take your gaze opposite. So your knees are over towards the left. Take your gaze over towards the right. Maybe slightly tuck your chin, lengthen through the crown of your head, and take a few rounds of breath here. Let's go for 5 full rounds of breath. If you start to feel any sort of pulling through your shoulder, again, back up through the twist a little bit. Come back a little bit, back to center. You don't want to feel any pulling through your shoulder, right? Any pulling through your lower back. You want to feel this twist, and you want to feel good in your twist, but you don't want to feel any pain. Twist being really, really good for your digestive systems. Just kind of massaging your intestinal tract. Take one more full inhale. And then as you exhale, start first by taking your head back to center. Slowly draw your knees back to center. And draw your feet up the wall one more time. Point and flex your toes. Roll your ankles. This time, take your hands up overhead. Take a nice big stretch up overhead and roll your wrists up. Yeah. Kind of move your shoulders around. All right, back to this T position here. Draw your heels down towards your glutes. Knees bent. And as you exhale, draw your knees over towards the left this time. And know that from side to side, it could be completely different, okay? All right? Know that from side to side, it could be completely different. And it's totally fine. It's perfectly fine. Totally normal, actually. Finishing off a twist, take your gaze over towards the left as your knees draw over towards the right. Soften through your glutes. Release through your glutes. Soften through your thighs and release through your glutes. Breathing through your shoulders. Certainly a little bit more difficult to breathe in a twist, but really try to concentrate your inhale, creating space, filling your belly, filling your chest. And as you exhale, draw your belly button in towards your spine. Breathe through the twist. Nice work. Take one more full inhale. And then with your exhale, take your gaze back to center. And then draw your knees back to center. Okay, just enough time to show you a couple more things here. All right, so from here, back to center, traditional legs up the wall. Okay, so we'll review one more time, all right? Legs up the wall, Malasana Squat. Oops, I did it wrong. Baddha Konasana, right? Then Malasana Squat. Then we went into a figure four, straddle, then figure four, legs up, and then twist on each side. Boom, and then boom. Okay? So, if you have any questions on that, of course, leave me a comment and I'll guide you through again, okay? So, take your heels in. Now you're going to roll all the way onto your right side and pausing here for just a moment. Pausing here for actually a little bit more than a moment this time because you really want to let the energy just redistribute throughout your bodies. Yeah, we had our legs up the wall majority of class. So there's just enough time here to show you one more posture that I really want to get to that's so good. So slowly drawing up, making your arms nice and strong. Coming back to your mats. I want you to draw your knees back to the wall so that your knees are at the baseboard of the wall, okay? Can you see that? Your knees are at the baseboard and your knees are bent at a 90-degree angle, okay? Shoelace side of your foot is up against the wall. My head is going to be up, but I want you guys to try to keep your head down so that you're not straining your neck. So you're in crocodile position with your hands stacked and your forehead down. I'm going to keep my head up though, just so that you can hear me talk. So I'm afraid you'll be able to hear me give instruction if I put my head down, okay? So in crocodile position, now this could be enough of a stretch for you here and stay, this could be enough, stay right here, feels good. From side to side though, we're going to come into half frog pose, okay? So starting on the right side, your right knee will draw up and out towards the side and your foot will come to the wall, to the baseboard, all right? So again, your right knee draws up and out. Okay, so here's my knee. My foot is up against the baseboard. Half frog position here. So you can do these one at a time. Okay, you can do full frog. So this is half frog. Breathing here. All right. As you come back to center, coming on the opposite side. Okay. And then, of course, the next option is to come into full frog, where both knees draw out, right? Your head, again, fully supported down on the mat or by your forearms underneath. So when your knees are out towards the side in full frog, you might find that you need a little bit of cushion underneath your knees. So you probably need a blanket there. So find the comfort that works for you, or again, come back and do just one leg at a time. Great hip opener. If you're at home and you do have a bolster, this is a really good one for a bolster underneath your head and chest as your feet are supported up against the baseboard. Bringing your head up to be supported is another good one too. Breathing through your hips. We'll take about 5 more rounds of breath here. Half frog or full frog. Finding the appropriate depth again, maybe going from side to side, spending a few rounds of breath on each side. This can be really intense, so I'm trying not to give like specific guidelines on how long to stay on each side, because I know it can be pretty intense depending upon how flexible you are through your hips and your hip flexors and your knees, right? So number one rule, be kind to your bodies, and pain is never good. So find the appropriate depth, and let's go for 3 more rounds of breath here. Right, take one more full inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly walk your knees back. Yeah, slowly draw your heart space up. Coming into Sphinx pose, soften through your shoulders, chin away from your chest. Yeah. Soften through your glutes. Ending with a little bit of a heart opener here in your Sphinx pose with your knees bent. Letting your elbows be underneath your shoulders. Soften through your shoulders. And again, release your glutes. Soften your thighs. Release your glutes. Nice work tonight, you guys. Take one more full inhale. And then with this exhale, let's slowly draw down and then roll onto your backs. Settling in for your Shavasana. As you roll onto your backs, allowing yourself to get reoriented again with your upper back, your middle back, and your lower back. Released onto your mat, maybe taking a blanket over your body just to give you a little bit of warmth. Sometimes after those legs up the wall poses, you might find a little bit more coolness coming through your body as your legs come down. Just about your blood reflowing again. So totally normal. If your knees are bent, try to let your knees support each other. Maybe your legs are straight out, hands to your belly. Maybe your hands are out towards the side, palms facing up. Unclench your jaw. Soften and release the palms of your hands. Softening the gaze behind your eyelids. And release the crown of your head. Settle into your Shavasana. Slow your minds into your final relaxation pose. Allowing your exhale to be a wave of release. Offering ease to any area of tension. And slowly start to deepen your breath. Bringing some movement to your head back and forth. Allowing your thumbs to feel each fingertip. Roll through your wrists. Take your hands to opposite shoulders, reaching back. Give yourself a nice, big, warm hug here. Draw your knees into your chest. Roll through your ankles and slowly rolling onto your sides when you're ready. And pausing here. Take this moment here and now to thank your minds, thank your bodies for making it to your mats, and allowing this time for you, allowing this time for self-care, and allowing this time for some peace. With your inhale, make your arms and hands nice and strong. Find a comfortable seat at your mat. And take your hands to heart center if you like to close or practice out. Thank you for joining me for our legs up the wall session. A little bit more hip release. And of course, a very happy Mother's Day to all. Rest well tonight, you guys. Namaste. Thanks, guys. Leave me comments. Let me know if you liked it. Let me know what you didn't like. Let me know. No, I can't get the dogs to do legs up the wall, so. So, all right. Take care. See you next time.